they ain't tell y'all? You tuning into the best morning show on the globe. It's Bradham and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all playing Ziffy, I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing, Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SP, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Bradham and Emery.
Yeah, man. You know the vibes. Bradham Emery morning. Marques, Bradham, Justin Emery.
Few things get me as excited as hearing that song come on. Like when I hear like the beat in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I just hear Dom start talking. I'm ready to go. It's a great day. It's the first official Friday of the unofficial start of summer.
Yes.
And I'm out here practicing my Second Amendment.
Oh, what are you out here doing?
I got a tank top on, man. I got the right to bear arms.
Nice. The show is legal and well.
Yeah. I flew home from the gym today because so I joined this new gym, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And there's this he's like respect your elders old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guy who's at the front desk. And all he does is talk. And I don't mean just at the front desk. And I don't mean just at the front desk. Like he'll walk up to me and like today he walked up to me at a machine and just started talking to me. But like I said, he's like respect your elders, grandpa old. Like what am I gonna do? Like just entertain him for a few minutes and then I crank up the music with my headphones. Yeah. But I flew back here to get here for the show, so usually I'll at least put sleeves on, but I blew that off today.
You know what? It's summertime.
Yeah.
Sun's out, guns out, even though it's overcast today.
I was going to say, I feel like it's been raining for like the last week straight.
Yeah, it's been bad. But tomorrow's supposed to hit 90. I think we're supposed to get some sun tomorrow. So.
Oh, nice. Now, I don't have any facts for today.
Okay.
So today, nothing happened. But I did miss one on Wednesday. That's my own fault. And I deserve all the blame for this. The Wire debut.
Ooh, The Wire debuted? Oh, wow.
Yeah, so in addition to all the other stuff, The Wire debuted. And I deserve all the blame for missing that.
The Wire is one of, and didn't we just talk about The Wire too?
We did.
The Wire is one of the GOATs. It's one of that. If you got Mount Rushmore of television shows in my lifetime, The Wire's on there for me.
I mean, if you look at any list created by pretty much anybody, The Wire is a top 2.
Yeah. Well, The Wire, I mean,
like really, like
The Wire versus Snowfall today. I've heard some Wire versus like Breaking Bad.
That's the one I always hear, Wire versus Breaking Bad.
I don't think those shows are comparable to Breaking Bad and The Wire because it's just such different type of show. I think they both have their spot on the Mount Rushmore.
See, like Breaking Bad. Have you seen it? Have you seen Breaking Bad?
I've watched the series 3 times.
Okay, so then I'm not out here ruining it.
I actually just got done binging it again a couple months ago.
All right, so I'm not out here ruining anything for you then.
No.
So great show. My opinion, Mount Rushmore of show. Even though I am on the record of saying I think Better Call Saul might actually be better.
I think the problem for me with as much as I love Better Call Saul, I can't stand these breaks. Like it's just the breaks are just too.
They're too long.
And it's ruined the momentum of the show. Like
now, a lot of that is because
I just can't. The breaks are horrible.
Yeah, a lot of that is because who's the guy who plays Saul?
Bob Kirk.
He wanted to do that movie he was in. He did like some movie recently.
Yeah,
and he said to them, he's like, "Well, if you got to let me do this movie, or I won't shoot a season 6."
Right.
They kind of were like, all right, what are we going to do? Not have Saul in season 6? Better Call Saul.
Right.
But you're right. The breaks are dragging it out.
Killing me. But I do enjoy Saul.
Now, I've actually never seen an episode of it, but a lot of people would put Game of Thrones up there.
I couldn't do Game of Thrones.
I've never seen an episode of it.
I don't do spells, wizards. I don't do Renaissance Fair. It's not for me. Like, it's just not. I'm out on all of that stuff. Like, people have been trying to get me in that show forever, and I'll start watching the first episode, and I'll see like a long robe and some horse. So I'm like, I'm out.
I never got into it.
Yeah, I can't do it. It's just not for me. Like,
everybody's complaining about how the series ended. What motivation are you going to give me to watch it now?
Right. I actually just watched. Finally got around to watching the end of Shameless, and I was highly disappointed.
Move on. Continue.
I was very, very upset with the end of Shameless.
I'm very upset in you watching Shameless.
Shameless is great television. It's a great show. Love that show.
But I have to agree to disagree on this.
Okay, that's fine.
What's your take on Friends?
I'm a Friends man.
You are?
I enjoy Friends.
All right. I'm on record as saying Friends is probably the worst TV show of all time.
That's a bad record.
I actually just found out. What's today? Today is Friday. I just found out on Wednesday what Central Perk was.
Here's the thing. Here's my thing with Friends. I feel that the Friends falls in the category of a show that could be ridiculously overrated, but still be a good show, or still be good. But I think someone could be overrated, but still be good. And Friends to me is that in that category. Like, the way people talk about like the greatest show of all time. It's not. But it was a really good television show, and a unique in the perspective of it. Like, Friends is one of the first sitcoms where there wasn't a traditional lead star. Like, all 6 of the cast members were pushed to be stars, and you followed all their stories equally, which has never been done on television before. Usually you go through a TV show, Seinfeld, The Cosby Show, you have a lead guy or lead girl or whatever show you want, and then they follow that one, and then you have the sub characters. Where Friends, all 6 characters were lead characters. So that's something that never been done before or seen, which was pretty cool. And it is that time where your friends are your family, and like everyone goes to that time of life where their friends are like their family, and then you start to grow up and get your own family, and then your friends kind of take a back seat. So that journey. But I will say this about Friends: it really annoyed me. I watched the reunion a couple days ago. It annoyed me that they did not give props to the show that gave them the idea for Friends. So the head of NBC at the time, now I'm forgetting his name, of course, but I remember his name, but he's the head of NBC at the time, Brendan Turnikoff, that's it. He was the head of NBC at the time. That's kind of NBC like in its heyday of the Seinfeld, Cosby Show, Cheers, all of those legendary shows during that time period. And he was watching TV one night and happened to be watching Living Single on Fox. And he pretty much went to the head's labels like, I want you to find me a show like that. And Living Single basically is the black version of Friends. The only difference with Living Single had 2 major stars in Queen Latifah and Kim Fields, and Friends launched six people that no one really knew who they were. So, but Living Single needs to be given props for inspiring Friends. Living Single took place in New York City. It was Friends in their early 20s trying to figure it out. It had the whole concept. It just was on Fox at the time, not on NBC. So I get annoyed when people talk about Friends and don't give Living Single props. Because listen, you can have a show that inspires another show. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with him saying, you know what, I want to do a show like that. My problem is that story not being a part of the story of Friends. Because anyone who watched Living Single could totally tell Friends was basically a white version of Living Single.
I have no clue, so I'll take your word for it. I have no clue. I'll just take your word for it.
Let's move
on. Now, before we get into the topic of sports, I have to bring an interesting scenario to your attention that was told to me by a friend on Wednesday.
Okay.
So I was hanging out with a friend on Wednesday I haven't seen for a while, and we're talking, and we went out, we were hanging out. And afterwards, while we're leaving, we're walking. We're in the parking lot walking, and I look at his car, and he's got some damage to the back driver's side of his car.
Okay.
Okay. Now I don't know when it happened. Like it didn't happen, then and there. I just noticed that he had some damage on his car. So I said to him, like, yo, what happened? Like, did you back up? Like, what happened? He goes, nah, somebody hit me. I was like, oh man, why don't get it? Why don't you get it fixed? All that stuff. He goes, yeah, somebody hit me and then I ran away.
What?
So they were involved in a hit and run where they ran away. So I ask you this:
a run and hit?
Well, the hit happened first, and then they ran, so it can't really be a run and hit.
Yeah, but I mean, we have to reverse this because it's not a traditional hit and run. He didn't do the hitting; he got hit.
Hit and hide? Is this a hit and hide?
Yeah, I think it's a hit and hide.
Hit and hide. Okay.
No, a guy hit and hide.
Yeah.
What?
He got hit on the boulevard somewhere. I forget exactly where he said, but it happened somewhere on the boulevard.
I hate the boulevard.
So do I. I try to
argue with anyone on the boulevard is the worst road in America.
Yeah,
like there's nothing worse than the boulevard.
No,
it's literally anything goes out there. Survival. I drive very differently on the boulevard than I drive anywhere else.
You have to.
I don't care. It's bumper cars on the boulevard.
It is.
I get to my destination. I'm trying to get off that road alive.
Yes.
Like, whenever I see the GPS and it says boulevard, I go,
oh man, is there a way I can avoid this?
Oh, I don't want to do that. Like it's such a bad road.
Or when you look at an address on something that says like something Roosevelt Boulevard, and you're like, I gotta be on the boulevard then.
I gotta stay on the boulevard. And then that whole crossover foolishness. Oh, it's so bad.
So I ask you, and I ask all of our listeners that will end up listening to this episode to hit us up on social media. Have you ever been in an accident that wasn't your fault and you just rolled out?
No. No, I've never. No. Because I'm definitely saying it's not my fault.
So I've been in 4 accidents with my car, none of which were my fault.
Okay.
But I'll give one of the stories real quick. So I'm coming home from the studio. What was that?
I have a good one.
Okay, so I'm coming home from my old studio, and I was actually right by your old place. I'm right at Blair Mill and Easton Road.
Okay.
Coming from Bucks County, I'm like passing the Friendlies and all that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting at that light right there. I'm the very first car at the red light. Okay, it's maybe like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. On a weekday during the summer, and I'm sitting there, and the light turns green, and you know that moment where you take your foot off the brake, but before you hit the gas.
Yes.
Okay, so I had taken my foot off the brake. I disengaged the brakes, but I had not yet hit the gas. Okay. Next thing I know, this dude's basically in my back seat.
Oh my gosh!
Like, boom.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm confused. I'm confused as hell. I'm looking around like, all right, I know this dude just didn't just hit me.
Yeah.
Now, I have to be careful because I'm currently partaking in certain activities that I should not be doing, but I'm driving home. So I'm like, oh, crap. You know what I mean? So I had a friend and coworker in the passenger seat. He's panicked because, everything's going. He's panicking as well. Yeah. So I pull in the parking lot of the Chinese food places like right next to Friendly's.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, pull in there real quick, and whoever hit me pulls behind me. So I turn to my friend. I say, "Hey, everything that you think that we shouldn't have right now." The first thing I said to him, I was like, "Do you have any cigarettes left?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, I need you to take everything that you think that we shouldn't have right now, put it in your pocket, light up a cig, and go for a walk real quick. I'll call you."
Right.
So he's like, "No problem." Boom, he's out. So he gets out of the car. The kid that hit me is like 16 years old.
So he's crying.
He's flustered. I'm frustrated. He's flustered.
Right.
Now, my bumper's messed up, and I got some cosmetic damage. Homeboy's windshield's broken. His airbags went off. Like, his car is way worse than mine. So I look at how old he is, and I'm like, all right. I was like, are you under 18? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, all right. You should probably call your parents. I was like, I'm going to call the cops. You call your parents. He goes, I can make that with one phone call. His dad was the chief of the Horsham Police Department.
Nice. Power move.
So I was like, all right. So his dad comes. His dad just starts ripping him a new one right there. I mean,
in uniform?
No. He's in full Seth Curry gear. or I'm sorry, Steph. He's got the Steph Currys on. You know what I mean? Like full. Yeah, like that. He's got the whole. So he just starts going off on his son. He's apologizing to me and everything. I'm like, this is good. Then now, we've had this conversation before. You're not a mechanic. I'm not a mechanic. No one's going to mistake either one of us for being mechanics. Okay. I feel like as the chief of police, you deal with accidents probably more frequently than either you or I would do. Correct?
Yeah.
This man turns to me and goes, "Do you think my son can drive this car home, or should we get it towed?"
What? I don't know.
I looked at him. I was like, "Well, the airbags went off.
Right.
The windshield's broken. I'd probably get it towed."
Yeah, that'd probably be the best scenario.
So I got all the information and I rolled out, and then my insurance company racked homeboy for my bill because it turns out there was a lot of actual damage that was like unforeseen underneath.
Yeah.
So my insurance company whacked homeboy, but yeah, like chief of police, his son's just out here cruising around, smashing into cars.
Yo, I got two. One that was not involving me. This is something I actually just thought about when you were talking. So the end of my old place, Blair Mill and York Road, there's like a little restaurant there. You know that restaurant I'm talking about? It's like at the very end, Blair Mill and York Road.
Hey, Blair Mill, York Road.
You're going to turn on Blair Mill, York Road, and you have that huge.
Yeah. Okay, it's like the windmill or whatever it's called.
Yep. Yeah, it's like a catering place.
Right by Amy's Pizza.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I am getting ready
about that place too, or
I'm getting ready to go straight. And this car is next to me, and the light is. They have the arrow. They have the arrow, and I had a light, so they're going, and the car starts turning, but it's not turning quickly enough. I'm staring at this like that's not going to make it. My man turned directly into the windmill and drove through the front door. The whole front collapses. I'm like, so I see like this kid, this boy, he had to be like 16 years old. His mom gets out the other side. She's yelling at him. The sister's out the back. They're all just yelling. Like the windmill, there's smoke coming out of the car. I'm like, is windmill about to blow up right now? I gotta get out of here. I gotta go.
You gotta be out.
As I left, I called 911 to get someone there to the scene. But like, it looked like, and they closed for a good 8 months to repair that.
I remember that they were closed for a while.
That's why.
That's crazy.
So the next one, 2010, I had this really nice SUV. It was a Mitsubishi Montero Sport. This is my favorite car I've ever owned. Like it was like a dark forest green. It had tinted windows. I had a system in the back. I loved this car. I had just this accident happened on a Monday. The Saturday before, I had just taken it to get inspected, and the guy was telling me how great condition the car was. He's like, "Oh man, you're gonna have this car for another 10 years. It's in excellent condition. Like you should be really proud." I was like, "Yeah," I was all excited. So Monday morning, I took a break from teaching for about a year and a half. I was just so burnt out. I didn't need to do anything else. So I ended up actually doing landscaping, which I worked for True Green at the time. It was like lawn work, that type of thing. And
I see their billboards everywhere. They're huge.
So work at True Green, you're getting up like early in the morning. Like I'm at the door at like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Which anyone who knows me knows morning is not my thing. So I'm dating a girl at the time who was how do I put this politely? She was not the easiest person to get along with. We'll just put it that way. She was a person that and listen, I gotta take responsibility too because I was younger too. So I probably didn't handle things the best either at that age. And she also didn't feed and help that at all. So I don't even know why we're arguing. But it's 5:40 in the morning, and we're in a full-blown argument on the tech phone. Full-blown argument. This is when you had these phones where you slide the keyboard up and you could text.
Yeah.
So I'm at the light of 611 in Bristol Road. 611 in Bristol is right by Stress's Candy.
Okay, yeah.
Left to go on Bristol.
Okay.
Here's the problem. I am way out. I'm so half asleep. I'm not even in my right facility. I'm trying to put coherent thoughts through this phone. I'm driving a car. It's all bad. So I begin to turn my vehicle. I'm turning my car as I'm texting on the top of the thing. I'm just turning, just looking at what I'm writing. Bro, I turn into oncoming traffic. They're all sitting there stop parked. I turn into oncoming traffic and I hit a car. So when I hit the car, so basically my car went like this. I turn, I did this right into the into the people turning left to get on 611. I hit a car and it scared me. I was like, what just happened? So I jolts me. I swerve out of the car. I drive full speed into a ditch where I rip off the entire bottom of my car. This actually, it's funny. If you go to the corner of 611 in Bristol right now, that ditch, I think they've finally in the past 6 months fixed it. It used to be like a huge ditch where my car was. So now I'm just sitting there in the grass at 5:45 in the morning, like, how the hell did I get here? What is going on? People are getting out the car. People are crying. I got a girl over this other side crying. I felt like such a douche canoe.
I bet.
Highest level of douche canoe. So then, now I'm arguing with this girl. Now I have to go, hey, it's got an accident. Come pick me up, please. So now she has to come pick me up. And of course, even though it really wasn't her fault, it's ultimately my fault. Of course, I blame it on her.
Yeah. You were texting while I was driving, and
y'all ride up. Now look at me now, the car. Like the car ends up getting towed, and they were like, "Listen, man, you ruined your frame. It's totaled." So just like that, in 48 hours, I went from 10 years to 48 hours.
Oof.
Yeah. Bad news.
One time when I was in high school, I was in the drive-through at Burger King, and I mean, we've talked about this before. I get 2 meals when I go to a fast food place, one for the ride home and then one for at home. Okay. Well, I'm pulling out of the parking lot and I bite into my sandwich. The whole thing comes out the back.
No.
Falls all over my lap. Burns my leg. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh man. So I'm start freaking out. I swerve. You know how they have those poles there? The pole just took out my whole side view mirror. I was like burning myself. And I was sitting there. I was so mad. I had like mustard and ketchup all over me. But that was my first car. That car, the wind basically pushed that thing for me around the neighborhood. Not the gas pedal, the wind. I was basically Flintstoning it around in that car. So, but all right, enough of that. Let's get down to business. NBA round 2 is starting tomorrow.
Yes,
and we got
first round game.
What's that?
One more first round game. It's funny. Went into
potentially one more.
Yes, went into yesterday thinking we were going to have 2 game 7s.
Yeah,
and ended up with no game 7s. And now tonight, the Clippers are clippering again. As predicted on the show, the Clippers are in full Clipper mode. They go and lose the first 2 games at home in horrible fashion. Then, and totally on brand for the Clippers, they go to Dallas and win 2 games there. Then it's game 5 at home, and they lose that game. And they're going to lose. And by the way, spoiler alert, they're going to lose tonight too. The series is over.
So my dad doesn't know anything really about basketball. Like he watches the Sixers, but the league as a whole.
Well, yeah, he's not really following it.
No, not following anything. So he's actually been cleaning up though in the NBA playoffs. And I almost think it's easier when you don't know like the intricacies and you're just reading the lines. I feel like it's almost easier to just.
I totally agree.
So he's been cleaning up on FanDuel in these NBA playoffs, and he wanted to pick the Clippers in Game 5, and I had to stop him. I was like, "Listen, don't do that." And his logic was terrible. Okay, his logic was, well, the series are tied 2-2, and now they're going back to LA. And I said, you don't understand. That doesn't matter.
Right.
It's irrelevant.
Court advantage there.
Is there a team that has less of a home court advantage in the entire NBA than the Clippers?
No. And this is why, like,
Luka did. I mean, your guy. You know, Luka is. You know, you have a 77 jersey. If I'm correct.
I do. I got the green 77.
Okay, so You're a Luka guy. He
I'm a
did
big guy.
whatever he wanted to in that game.
Yeah.
But we said Wednesday, I believe we said it. We might have said it last week, but I think it was on Wednesday that Kawhi needs to step up and he needs to stop Luka.
Well, yeah, but they've thrown everyone at him.
Well,
Like,
my thing is that.
But even if you look at the defense, like at one point they had Pat Bev guarding him.
Hold on. Let me finish the point.
Yeah.
Kawhi can't do it because you saw what happened in Game 5.
Right.
And then on the other end, Kawhi came down, gave you 25 and 5 with 5 turnovers. Do you know why he did that? Because he was gassed from guarding Luka.
Yeah.
To your point, this series is a wrap. Anything, as long as the only thing that continues this series is a Luka injury.
I'm gonna make a wild statement right now.
Do I need to cue the music up for this or something? Or
wild statement.
Okay, let's hear it.
As you know, I am a major Luka guy, no question. You're looking at the stats and things that Luka is putting up, and the numbers and the class he's in already at the age of 22. If Luka Doncic plays for 16 more years and continues on this trajectory with the rings, if he can get the rings also to go along with it, Luka Doncic has a chance to go down as the greatest to ever do it. Those are the type of numbers that he's putting up right now. It is some like I watch him play.
Let me ask you this in regards to what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Put a number on the rings. How many?
I need something like
can he get a bye with 3, 2 or 3? Does that work, or does he need like 5 or 6?
We need 5 or 6 with like 7 attempts.
That won't happen.
I mean, that is and that's why I say with the rings, that's going to be hard because of where he plays, and like they got to find because Porzingis is letting him down. I mean, he's. I mean,
we need to put some. All right. Now I understand what he's done, his age, and all that, but let's put some tiers on Luka first, okay?
Okay.
Right. Before we're going to go that high to where you're saying he could be the best, and I understand you didn't say he definitely was going to be, but you said he has the potential. Okay.
Yes.
We're going to put the mantle. That's the top. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go down from there. Okay. Let's work on achieving these 2 things first, which someone else in your franchise already has. Let's work on being the best Maverick ever, because you have a mountain to climb for that. Number 1.
I mean, I honestly think he has that in the bag. If he stays on this trajectory, he can actually be the best Maverick of all time without winning a chip. Like his numbers are going to be so astronomically.
We hope so, because I mean,
like if you think about it, he's already like at 22 years old. If you took 22 LeBron and 22 Luka,
yes,
close.
Yeah,
like he's already passed that threshold. If you think about how crazy it is to say that, think about what we just said here.
Oh, I know.
LeBron, 22 Luka is better. That's insane. That's an insane thing.
Create a plot chart, okay?
Yeah.
With every player in the history of the NBA. This early in their career, at this age, Luka probably has the highest barometer in the entire history of the NBA.
I would 1,000% agree.
With the only person probably being able to compete against him is LeBron.
And you look at Game 5, why couldn't he not do that for the next 16 years? Because what makes Luka so special is his pace of play. And like people get confused because people say he's not athletic, which is so not true. It's just Luka plays at Luka's pace, and he's so good at getting you to play at his pace. And he gets whatever shot he wants. Whatever he wants to do, he does it. It doesn't matter who's in front of him. He can do whatever he wants to do. It's only question is, will it be successful or will it not be successful? Those are the only questions. You're not stopping him from doing anything.
Well, then we have the second tier, okay?
Okay.
So, like I said, let's work on him getting to be the best Mav ever. Now, does he have? I think he has the inside track.
Yes.
But let's not act like he doesn't.
No disrespect to Dirk, because Dirk's another one of my favorites ever. No disrespect to Dirk. Yeah, this is like where we're at right now. Like Dirk wasn't this good at 22 because Dirk didn't really start too. But I remember 99, 2000 Dirk. He was still kind of figuring it out. It took him about like,
I don't want to say he was a late bloomer, but
it took him to like 2003, 2004 to really cement his, okay, this guy is a top 10 player in the league.
Yeah.
And then he had the run of like that 2004 to like 2014 where he was just one of the best players on the planet.
So like I said, I think he has the inside track, but let's not act like that's not a big mountain to climb.
Not at all. It's not.
Right? That's it's not easy to accomplish that. So let's start with that, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he does that, I believe he'll simultaneously win this next tier as well, because I believe Dirk also has it, and that's best international player ever.
Yes.
Because it's really only between Dirk and Steve Nash, if you're asking me personally. I mean, some people might argue Tim Duncan in there as well, but I think it's Dirk in my personal opinion.
I mean, you could put Hakeem up there.
He doesn't really get the same what's the word I'm looking for? Consideration that the other guys do, though. When you talk about the best international player ever.
Yeah.
So like I said, I believe if you pass Dirk for one, you should pass him for both simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can start talking about those next tiers. I said this about Mahomes. Now, I know we're comparing different sports right now, but I said this about Mahomes.
It's a very interesting comparison comparing those two.
Because I said, he had his 50 touchdowns his first year,
mm-hmm.
and everybody was like, all right, he's already one of the greatest ever. And I said, listen, let's see him do this for 2 or 3 years. He doesn't need to do 50 again, but let's not see the fall off.
Right.
Then what happens? He comes back the next year, does it again, wins the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, he goes and does it the third year, makes it back to the Super. Okay. Now I'm sold. You got me.
Yeah, there are people right now that say Patrick Mahomes is the best they've ever seen. There are people right now that are saying that about him. Right, and I don't know if I'm going that far yet.
But I'm not ruling it out.
No, exactly. I'm not ruling out, and that's kind of how.
That's exactly how I feel about Luka. Like a lot, you said I'm not saying no.
Yeah.
Then we gotta.
Yeah, and listen, it's contingent on health.
There's a lot of ifs. A lot of ifs.
He has to have the right guys around him.
I mean, yeah, and
there has to be.
I don't see him leaving the Dallas Mavs. I feel like Mark Cuban will keep him there.
Yeah.
He grew up idolizing Dirk. Why would you?
Mark Cuban doesn't lose stars.
No.
When he gets guys like this, he doesn't lose guys like this.
No.
Luka Doncic is a franchise Dallas Maverick. It's just up to Mark Cuban, which we all know Mark Cuban, how he operates. He sees what he has. He tried with Porzingis. Porzingis is not the guy to match with them to be that another star. Porzingis, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's the injuries, but he's not the same. He's not the same guy he was a couple years ago. So he tried with him. He's going to try again and match Luka with with a star. Who that star is to be determined. And what that, because they do have like Dorian Finney-Smith, Tim Hardaway Jr., Kleba. They have a good supporting cast. They just need that star. They got to get that star, that guy that's going to be the Pippen to Luka's Jordan. They got to find that guy, and until you get that guy, you're not going to be able to get those thresholds. But Luka Doncic, from a talent standpoint, from the numbers he puts up, damn, like it's wild watching him. Like that first quarter, Game 5 Wednesday night was absolutely insane. Like just watching him, and some of these shots I'm watching him take, I'm like, is that even a shot? Like, what was that? I watched him play Ring Around the Rosie and then a step back three. Like he literally hit the pick, went around in a circle, back to the three, and hit the three. Like It's like I've never seen that before. I didn't know that was an option. Go back to the trade.
Part of what makes him so good is also how big he is physically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's
6'8".
Yes.
No, if he was like 6'2", 6'3", he'd still be good, but he wouldn't be like this.
Yeah, because he's 6'7", 6'8", and he's solid.
Yeah.
He's a solid. He's not like a Kevin Durant build. He's a solid build.
Yes.
Luka's a meat and potatoes man.
Yes.
You know, he's a big boy. So him doing all of this stuff, because that's another thing he could do with he take down the block. He could put a guard on the block, because you want to have, like, I guess the best matchup for him would be, you know, agile guards. That's what you think, but he takes those guys down the block and post them up. So yeah, listen, we don't need to. We've done a lot of Luka, but we know how I feel about Luka Doncic.
Yeah, so we got we'll stay in the West because we're still waiting for obviously for the first round to end for that. But we'll go to the games that already lined up.
Yep.
We have Suns, we have Nuggets. Talk about a series that I could not care less about.
Suns and Jazz, you mean?
Why would the Suns play the Jazz? Why would the one play the two?
I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah. Jazz winner Mavericks. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you're so out in the series. It's going to be a fun series. You have two good crowds. You have
I don't really respect either team. I think that's what it is. Like, I don't respect the Suns and I don't respect the Nuggets.
The Nuggets don't have enough to get, but like this is tailor-made for the Suns to get to the conference final. Because the Nuggets without Jamal Murray, they don't have enough. But I want to slide back a little bit, because the Portland Trailblazers are an interesting case study. I don't know what to think about them. I don't know what to do with them, because you look at them on paper, and it looks like they have a team good enough to get the NBA Finals. Mm-hmm. They've now lost 4 out of 5 times in the first round. Mm-hmm. And this is happening while you have Dame Lillard in his prime, CJ McCollum in his prime. You go out and get Norman Powell. You got Nurkic, who you got from the Nuggets, because the Nuggets want to make room for Joker. You got pieces there. You got the kid.
Dame is the most loyal superstar I've ever seen, and it's time for him to get out of there.
I tell you what. I'm gonna say this right. Should I say this? Or should I wait till after the season?
No, say it. Because if you teased it, you gotta say it.
This is now. Listen, I am saying this. If things don't go the way I want them to go with Ben Simmons, that is a destination I look to get him out to. Give me Dame. If this doesn't work out the way it should work out, and he's a reason why, I want Daryl Morey working on a trade this offseason to bring Damian Lillard to Philly. Can you imagine Damian Lillard in a ball screen with Joel Embiid, and what that will look like, and the nightmares that will create for defenses, along with the other shooters they already have? Could you imagine that? The nightmares, the nightmares you have in that ball screen action? And Lillard is, and there will be no question of Damian Lillard how big of a killer he is. He is an assassin.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Every time the word.
If you don't believe that, I revert you back to Game 5 in Denver.
Yeah.
He single-handedly by himself almost beat the Nuggets.
No doubt about it.
Ridiculous shot. So now, listen, that's just a contingency plan. That's break the glass in the case of emergency. Do I feel that way right now? Do I want that right now? No. I would like to see Ben Simmons stay here with Embiid, keep that pair together. But if he's the reason why we don't have a boat parade, I'm going to need Daryl Morey to pound those phone lines to the Pacific West and get on the line there and talk and see if we can make this happen.
Could not agree more.
Interesting case study, though.
I'm really kind of fed up with number 25, but we'll get to him in a little bit when we get into the Sixers. We'll get into
the Trailblazers are an interesting case study. I don't know what, like, Nurkic looks like a guy, sometimes you look at him and he looks like a guy that could be a top 25 player in the NBA. But it doesn't seem to happen consistently a lot, and he gets in foul trouble a lot. That's one of the problems. He's hurt a lot.
I think they need to, first off, they need to get a new coach out there.
It's time for Stotts to head out, Terry.
Well, he's going to. I believe he's in. He's now the GM. Something came out yesterday. I believe he's now the GM. So Get a new. You're wasting this guy's career.
Yeah, I look at him. I look at Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers has one.
Right. He got to one. You know, and Aaron Rodgers also got some conference finals. Lillard's been in one conference final, I believe. So, you know, yeah, and it's just so weird because McCollum seems like a great Robin to his Batman.
He's not though.
But the thing about
McCollum shrinks. Now
he disappears.
Do you think there's anybody who's happier about the Portland Trailblazers losing than Shaq?
Yeah, Shaq probably loved Stogie last night.
Oh, he was feeling real good after that.
Yeah, it was weird how it happened too, because Portland was in control of that game in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually turned it off. They're up like 13. I was like, all right, I'm going to watch one of my shows. I check on my phone. All of a sudden they're down 9. I was like, what just happened here?
And everybody on the timeline was like, oh, it's just about Dame time.
Yeah.
Dame time. I mean, they're not wrong. It was just about Dame time, but Dame time never happened.
But the thing is, what's not fair is that you can't expect Dame to have to be in a position to save you every time. You know, that's not fair. It's unfair. Like they put it's too much pressure put on him to rescue them. You know, like Dame getting 55 is nice, but that's not a recipe for a championship. And he shouldn't have to do that every night. But you feel like if Dame doesn't put up big numbers, they're not going to win.
You're going to lose.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see that they're in for, I believe, an interesting offseason. I'll be interested to see how they handle all of this and what the moves are they make to get better. Because if I'm Dame, I'm going to the front office, literally in my uniform last night. Like I untuck the shirt and I go right to the office.
I'm like, we got to do something.
Yeah, we got to figure this out. I can't keep doing this. This isn't fair to me. We got to figure this out. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. But so you got Mavs Clips tonight. I think the series is over. And then this weekend we start the second round.
Tomorrow we start the second round.
Tomorrow evening. I like Milwaukee to get the game 1 for upset. I think Milwaukee is going to. I think Brooklyn wins the series. I like Milwaukee tomorrow night.
I'm going to check the line real quick.
I could give last time I checked, it was a +4 for Milwaukee. They're giving 4.
Let me check. I'm pulling it up right now. 3.5.
Down 3.5. Okay, so they're basically calling a pick 'em.
3.5. With the Bucks as 140 on the money line.
Okay. I think Milwaukee. This is like they are like
they're focused. They're focused, dude.
They're feeling like no one wants them kind of being in conference finals anyway. Everyone is kind of pulling for Brooklyn, so they're gonna feel that. I think they go out tomorrow night and they get the dub. I'll be interested to see like if Antetokounmpo ends up guarding Durant and what that looks like.
He's gonna get cooked. That's what it's gonna look like.
Yeah, because I think Antetokounmpo honestly is an overrated defender.
He is, and Durant's gonna take him out to the 3-point line and cook him.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Who guards Harden on the other end? I guess you do Drew Holiday on Harden, maybe.
Yeah, you have to.
But here's the problem. Here's what hurts them is losing DiVincenzo. This is the series where it hurts them because DiVincenzo is an above average defender, and he gives you another really good defender to match up with their big three.
And I'll tell you what really will hurt them for Brooklyn now is that Kyrie is going to have to play defense on somebody. Harden's going to have to play defense on somebody. Like they have, Joe Harris is going to have to play defense on somebody.
Yeah, that narrative that the Brooklyn Nets have figured out defensively, we'll see. We'll see this series because the Celtics, let's be honest, like they're really like you had to worry about Jason Tatum and nobody else,
and that's it.
So I
don't even think what's his name? I don't even think Kemba Walker played every game.
Yeah, he didn't. I think he was out after game 2, maybe.
Yeah.
So in this series though, Drew Holiday can get his, Chris Middleton can get his. Someone's gonna have to get in front of Giannis, and even though, like I've always said about Giannis is a great athlete, not a great basketball player, his athleticism forces you to have to stay in front of him. That's tiring.
PJ Tucker.
It's like wrestling a bull.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of guys they're gonna have to worry about. And they're gonna need more. Yeah, they're gonna need more from the role players. I'm like Blake Griffin was barely alive in round one.
Yeah.
Joe Harris had the one game, but he really wasn't much of a factor either. They're gonna need more from the role guys. But it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, I think Milwaukee takes tomorrow night. I think Brooklyn wins the series in 7.
Yeah, this is going to be a heavyweight fight between these two, and the Vegas projection is Brooklyn in 7. So you're right on board with what the books are saying.
So let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll get into the meat and potatoes of the weekend. Round 2, ATL comes to Philly. Brad Emery in the morning, Marques Brown, Justin Emery, we're right back.
Looking for authentic Mexican food close to home? Great news. District Taco has opened its newest location in Abington, Pennsylvania, and they'd love to fiesta with you. Offering Yucatanian fish tacos, burrito mojados smothered in delicious salsa, and crispy sweet churros, District Taco has it all. Try out the newest location or check out their website, districttaco.com, and come back for more. District Taco. Always fresh, always Mexican.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time.
Justin Emery here to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet in Langhorne. Sharon and Michael are the owners, and they have the best beef jerky around. You can never go wrong with the maple bacon, but my personal favorite is the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Turkey jerky? Yeah, I said it, turkey jerky. It's getting warmer out, which means grilling season. And what better way to top your meat than with Beef Jerky Outlet's very own sauces? Spicy chipotle, sriracha horseradish, and roasted pineapple habanero are just a few of your options to choose from. Located at 110 Lincoln Highway at the corner of Oxford Valley Road, or shipping nationwide on their website, beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code BREMY for 10% off and say, yo, Justin sent you.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Every Friday, we're bringing you bits. But it's especially hilarious to me knowing what I've seen happen in McDonald's locations over the years. Hell, what I've done in McDonald's locations over the years.
Hits. Always winterize your pipes. I think that is such a funny...
And everything in between.
Nah,
see, it's the opposite. You don't see it, and he was totally about eating that baby. We are Twitty and the Brand. We're going to ruin something that you love. New episodes weekly on all your favorite podcast streamers.
Yeah, man. Welcome back. Brian Emery in the morning. Marques Brown and Justin Emery. So the Hawks make quick work of the Knicks. The Knicks are still.
Yo,
yeah, you did.
No, I'm also saying I called it on the bet slip because I took Hawks minus 9.5.
Love it. The Hawks.
But you actually talked me into it, to be honest with you. When you were sitting there the one day and you were like, I understand that they won the game. New York won game 2, but they got outplayed. And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Man's right.
And if you look at that series, the Hawks dominated basically every game. And even going back to game 2, the Knicks were down double digits in every game they played in that series.
Mm-hmm.
They had to come back, I believe, from 15 down in game 2. And they just couldn't figure out Trae Young. Trae Young did whatever he wanted to.
That doesn't take away anything that Julius Randle accomplished this season.
Not at all.
But man, did he not exist?
No.
In the playoffs. And Trae Young, I'll tell you this: he's not going to do what he did against New York against the Sixers, because the Sixers have the guys to get out there on him.
No, he better watch his mouth in the city too. He better watch his mouth. He was real chirpy out there in New York, and don't do that here, bro.
Did you see those videos of the fans after the guy dressed up as Spider-Man?
Yes, but you know what though? It's. I will say this: it's always good when the New York Knicks are good.
I was about to say I'm glad that Madison Square Garden had some energy though.
It brought a smile on my face to hear the organ, to hear the defense chants. That was like when I was a kid, the Knicks were always they were good. They were constantly in the the playoffs, conference finals. Had one NBA Finals appearance.
There's certain things for certain leagues.
Yeah,
that's just better. Like we hate it as Eagles fans, but the NFL is better when the Cowboys have a good team.
Yeah,
we don't like, but it just is like when the who are some of the others blue blood teams like the Packers,
the Celtics to be good in the NBA.
You want the Celtics to be good. You want the Yankees, the Packers, the Lakers,
right?
For hockey, you want the Canadiens to be good, the Rangers. You want the Penguins. Yeah. Like certain things for like those sports, and it's just better, and it's just better for the NBA when the Knicks are good.
That's why I was low key rooting to see Knicks Sixers round because I thought it would just be fun to have the New York Philly thing. But
yeah, they got to get on a plane, don't they?
Yeah, they have to get on a plane. And
actually, they did that. Did you hear what happened after Game 4?
No.
So they actually flew to DC for Game 4.
That's silly.
And then they listen. So they
train ride.
So they flew to Game 4. Okay, check this out. Okay, flew to Game 4. The plane breaks down.
No.
And they had to take a bus back.
No, see, I don't need that.
Why did you just do that in the beginning?
Yeah, just should have done that from the beginning. Should have took the train. The Amtrak train is a vibe.
Like when I saw, and you're gonna get it. You know, you're gonna get it chartered.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I saw Keith Pompey were like, yeah, the Sixers didn't arrive back in town till 6 a.m. on Tuesday, following their plane breaking down, and I was like, why did?
That's one of the reasons why it's being used. Why Joel Embiid didn't play because they didn't get evaluated early enough.
I've done that drive. I've done the drive from DC to Philly to DC many times. You have done it many times. Why are you flying? You don't even have. Do you even have time to get to altitude?
It's a very easy drive. I had to fly. A couple years ago, I went to San Antonio. I had to do a layover in Dulles Airport, so the flight literally was 45 minutes. I
don't even know if it was that long, to be honest with you.
I was barely in the air, but yeah, Julius Randle though. I didn't see him a lot during the season, and I'm watching him in the playoff and watching his game. He's definitely going to need. He can't be the focal. He can't be the guy.
He's a number 2 at best.
His handle's not good enough to do that. So he needs another guy with him, primarily a ball guy. Maybe quickly, maybe he gets a little better, and maybe he's the guy. RJ Barrett proves.
Don't forget they also. They brought somebody in to be that guy. I just don't know if he is in the drafting of RJ Barrett.
Right.
No, they did attempt to answer that. Now, is that going to be the answer?
Who knows?
I don't know.
But it was nice to see Knicks in the playoffs. The Hawks made quick work because they just couldn't. Trae Young again did whatever he wanted. Yeah, and he
won't do that against this team now.
I do love his attitude. I do. I love the trash talk. I love all of that stuff. This series can be a little different. I've looked at this series. The Sixers have all the things the Knicks don't have. And the biggest thing they have, we talked about, is they have premier wing defenders. So the Knicks are very lumbery on the perimeter. They're not. I wouldn't call anybody specifically quick or agile. They're a really good defensive team, but they're more a physical defensive team. Sixers can play physical, but they have agile perimeter defenders.
So top flight defenders.
It totally changes the vibe that Trae Young's going to have on that ball screen, because he's going to have guys on the perimeter that can switch, that can get back to him, that can contain him. He's still going to get his. I'm not saying they're going to put him in a Ziploc, but it's not going to look the way it looked in the first. Not at all.
He's not going to go out there and just make it rain like he did.
If you take Trae Young away a little bit, Now,
Crumble.
what happens to the Bogdanoviches of the world?
They will crumble.
What happens to the Collins of the world?
Crumble.
What happens to those guys? Like, are those guys still able to get theirs?
Now, one thing I will say that now I'm not nervous about this. I still think even if Embiid doesn't play the whole series, I still like Sixers in probably 5 or 6 games.
Yeah,
Well,
I see Sixers in 5 or 6. I think Embiid will play Sunday.
One thing you need to be a little bit alert of, and it won't be for game 1. It probably won't be for at least at the earliest still game 3. But there's murmurs that Cam Reddish could be back.
Whoa. All right. Wow. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that.
So, like I said, it won't be for game 1.
Yeah.
And like I said, the quick turnaround for game 2 it probably won't be for game 2.
Right.
But those games 3 and 4 in Atlanta,
yeah,
there was murmurs that you could see him. There's nothing definitive, but I did hear that it could, hypothetically, Sixers are up 2-0 and they come back to Atlanta. You might.
Right. Maybe you might see that. Another thing, circling back to Trey,
that would change some things.
Yeah, absolutely. On those ball screens, the Knicks have okay rim protection with Noel and Gibson. The Sixers have elite rim protection with Joel Embiid and Dwight Howard.
Yeah, so
a lot of those floaters that he was able to get a length on were being swatted.
Those floaters will not get down again.
They're getting swatted to Passing Avenue. And that's not something he's going to have the opportunity to do as much anyway. So
not at all.
I think this matchup is geared perfectly for the Sixers. They match up really well with this Hawks team. They handle them pretty easily in the regular season. Trae Young didn't play the games in Wells Fargo, the back-to-back games. But I think I don't want to be disrespectful by saying it doesn't matter he's playing. It definitely matters. However,
at the end of the series, it doesn't matter.
Right. However, this matchup is geared for the Sixers. They match up really well with this team. And I think that it's not – I'm going to give it maybe 2 steps above the Wizards matchup, where the Wizards, I was just like, this is whatever the Sixers do, it doesn't matter. They're going to beat this team. Where you need to play well to beat the Hawks, no question. But if they play well, I don't see the Hawks beating Sixers. That makes sense.
No, absolutely. I absolutely agree. And before we get out of here, I need to get you on the record, because by the time we talk again on Monday, we will be recapping game 1. So I want you officially on the record, your prediction for this series.
So I think Embiid plays game 1.
Okay.
The thing is with his meniscus is that no one's going to know what he can do once he gets out there. It makes me feel good that he did warm up before.
Self-included.
Right. Before game 5, he warmed up. So that lets me know there's not going to be a long-term thing. So I think he tries to give it a go game 1. And who knows what that brings. Hopefully it bears fruit, and hopefully he's okay and he's good to go. I think the Sixers are going to win the series in 6. I think they split here in Philly. Then I think they split in Atlanta. So we have a game 5 here that matters. They come back, win game 5, then win game 6 in Atlanta.
So I have them winning in 6 as well, but I have them. Actually, no, I guess I got them winning in 5. Now that I'm doing the math. Yeah, I got them winning in 5. I think they're going to win 1, 2, and 5 at home.
Okay.
And then they only have to split in Atlanta.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely
100% capacity, raucous crowd. Are you?
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to come. Like,
yeah, it's just like I said.
Is there a better arena to watch a game than Wells Fargo?
That's what I was going to get to. That's exactly where I was going. Is that it's just as great as it was here in New York back. It just sounds different in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be saying things to Trae Young he may never heard before. They're going to get creative. They're coming at his ball spot. They're going for all of it. Like, he's going to hear things he's never heard before.
Oh.
And I'm not saying he's going to be rattled, but this atmosphere that he's about to experience, especially if you telling me Sixers fans weren't watching the way he's behaving in New York City, like he was Reggie Miller 2.0, we've been watching that. So the energy for him already off the rip is going to be something special.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that interaction.
Wait till he gets put in the penitentiary.
Yep.
And then the crowd gets on him, and then he's still not performing. Ben
and Matisse will be taking turns on Trae.
Marcus, I wanted to go to the game.
Your turn.
I wanted to go to the game. I found somebody that had very good tickets for the game.
Okay.
Very good tickets.
Okay.
600 bones, man.
For both or for one?
Single. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're good seats. They're good seats. We're talking round 2, but I mean, without Embiid, really?
Yeah, it's playoffs though, man.
I get it.
That championship march. See, I'm definitely getting down there for the conference final. I'm holding out for the conference final, but I wouldn't be mad at that. Especially if you're telling me they're really good seats.
They're lower level seats.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair price for
lower level corner baseline.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. If you choose to partake in that, I wouldn't be mad at that at all.
Definitely not for game 1. What's that?
This is once in a lifetime territory. Like it's not very often we've been in position where we're looking at a team that could go to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, definitely won't be doing it for game 1, but game 2 is a to be determined.
Yes,
hang tight for game 2.
All right, Justin has him in 5. Marcus has him in 6. We'll see how this plays out. I'd rather be wrong. Get it over in 5.
Yeah. Real quick before we get out of here, I do have to just mention. I said this to Marcus off air before we started the show. Perhaps the scariest injury I've ever seen in sports happened yesterday.
Yeah.
It happened to Tyler Zombro. He is a minor league pitcher. I believe he's in the AAA affiliate for the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm warning you right now. Do not go look this video up. It's out there. You can find it. But do not look this up.
What's his name?
Tyler Zombro. Zombro. He's a pitcher. He, in I believe it was the 7th or 8th inning. Oh God. Are you watching it right now?
No, I'm going for it.
Oh, we're getting a live reaction to this. Turn the volume down just so we don't hit any.
Yeah, he got plunked. Oh yeah, he's not moving. Yeah,
Called the game. Called the game on the spot. So.
Oh yeah, now he's starting to seize. Yeah, people are upset.
Yep.
Yeah, they're gonna have to, like, these guys. It's gotten to the point now where these guys are just too good and hitting the ball too hard on consistent basis. You got to get a helmet on these pitchers. I know it's gonna look goofy. It's like when you're 13 riding around the bike helmet. No one wants to do that. Everyone wants to be cool when I have the helmet on. You got to get the helmet on your head.
Yeah,
you need to put the helmet. I don't know what they can design so it doesn't is abstraction. You just surround this area. Even the face guard.
Some kind of combination between like an umpire's helmet and like the first base coach's helmet, like some kind of like morph of those two things, because you don't want it to be like a whole batting helmet.
Because thankfully this guy, as you said, he's in stable position, but like I don't want to get to the point where someone dies out there, and like that's a possibility with these guys hitting the ball as hard as they are. You're talking about coming off the bat.
Think about it like this. Okay? We've seen Bryce Harper, one of the biggest stars in the game, get hit in the face with a fastball, and he's rattled.
Yeah.
You know that. What do you think? Will this guy ever play again?
Yeah, I would.
And I'm not saying like from a physical standpoint. I'm saying, can he get himself back up there?
Yeah, psychological. Yeah, I don't know. That was tough to watch.
Yeah, it's like I said, the worst injury I've ever seen in.
He wasn't like, at first he wasn't even moving.
No.
Like, that's what I mean. That you gotta get a helmet on these guys. So follow me at Marcus be tweeting everywhere.
At Justin Emery Show on the Bluebird app. I know I keep saying it, but eventually I'll get back to using it. I will get back to social media.
Brad Memory Pod everywhere. BradMemoryShow.com for all the merch. Follow all our sponsors. Remember, we'll be live from the Beach Jerky Outlet June 23rd. 10% off the code Bremy. Come see us. And until next time, you can be with us, be against us, but you're never going to stop us. Late.